Hello, I'm Alex Coop.
And I'm James Griffin.
We're here with the lunch break crew. That's us. And we're playing some Super Mario Bros. On the Wii U today. And we're going to talk about some co-op games and
Yeah. I've never played Super Mario Bros. U. Have you?
Not this one, no. I've played the old ones.
Like the Wii one? Or
The Wii ones, and even going back to like Super NES.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
That was really fun.
So we're gonna pause it now and start playing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, so I'm playing as Luigi and
I'm
you're
playing as Mario.
I remember when this was first announced for the Wii. I thought this was the worst idea in gaming of all time. Scott, stop. Just because I couldn't see 4 people playing at a time and it not just being like a train wreck.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what I heard, it's chaotic fun. Is the term? Oh wow, you're horrible at this.
Hey, it's just you, man. I'm doing all right. It seems like it works really well, even with a lot of people. So.
I just died. Well, and for some people, I'm trying to get myself near to you. For a lot of people who have the Wii U, I remember Super Mario 3D World is coming out soon.
That's right. Yeah.
And no. Anyways, for Super Mario 3D World, they're adding a lot of new powers, especially this cat power that they keep kind of stressing a lot.
Yeah.
And another big thing that I read an article about recently.
Split yourself
Yeah,
in 3.
I really think that could actually change it up a lot.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Like obviously, the first concern is like, wow, how's that gonna like feel and control? But I mean, obviously, they're not gonna. I'd like to think they wouldn't mess that up, so it's gonna work. But
Yeah, I like to think so too.
Yeah.
As well, I've been reading a lot of Nintendo articles, been thinking a lot about Nintendo recently, and one of the big things is that like they haven't been selling their games, and I think part of that is they've been releasing like every year. It seems like there's always a new Mario title that adds like one new power, or it's not a big deal. Oh, sorry, watch out, jump. Oh, we got Scat saving us from the. But yeah, I really think. As much as I love the Mario games, and I think everyone grew up with them, especially from our era, we had, especially Nintendo 64, you think Super Mario 64, games like that. They haven't innovated really since Galaxy, it seems to me. I think that was like the last time that it felt like Mario had something new going for it and that people really cared.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just feels like they have these yearly titles now. And while I love co-op for it, I don't know, it's just not the same.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that into Mario either, but the thing is, every time I do jump in and play, it's always fun. And,
it's definitely a fun pick up and play game.
And that's what they go for, and it works. It's a great pick up and play game, and people have fun with it. And even though they don't really change much year to year, it's it's still fun, and they get the basics right.
No, yeah, for sure.
Right, the most.
I'm really hoping Nintendo can like innovate it again in the same way that Galaxy did.
Yeah.
As well as start getting some sales for the Wii U. That would be nice.
Yeah, we'll see that.
I think in the future, hopefully they'll be able to do something about that.
Yeah.
So what kind of co-op games did you grow up with?
Other co-op games, kind of touched on Battletoads the other week. That was a big one. Altered Beast, played that with some friends.
I've never played that.
It's quite frustrating, but it's pretty fun. I found it fun. And then more recent, Left 4 Dead.
That's a classic.
That's pretty much my favorite co-op game. It really emphasized teamwork and not leaving your teammates and running off on your own. And
yeah, I totally get that.
Doing whatever you want. Played a lot of that, and it was really fun.
You think there's gonna be a Left 4 Dead 3 anytime soon?
I don't know if anytime soon, but there will be one.
Yeah,
there's gotta be. And
just like there will be a Half-Life.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And I guess when talking about Valve and Left 4 Dead, there's Portal. That's also a really big one.
Oh yeah, especially Portal 2 adding the co-op. That was perfect co-op too.
It is.
That was about as good as I think as as fluid and as like kind of synchronized as co-op can actually get.
And it's funny, like it's a funny game. You wouldn't think that, but you play it and the writing is actually really, really good.
Did you ever one of the big co-op games for me as a kid was one game called Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Those games. Oh wait, I don't even know where we're supposed to go. Probably up that.
Probably up this way.
There you go. I died because of my foolishness. But yeah, I played that a lot. A friend had it on the GameCube, and one day we all just went over and played it for like an entire day. It was crazy.
I don't think it got great reviews, and I don't think people, like a lot of people might have. I don't think they liked it that much, but I don't know. Every time I played it,
it was a blast, right? Yeah, I think it's reviews. Yeah, lukewarm reviews for sure.
Darmstadt is going to get a good high score there.
But yeah, I remember that being one of those kind of games that was a blast to play because I was obsessed with like leveling up, getting new powers, sort of thing.
That was probably like the first game that kind of introduced me to that kind of like style of play where you like level up and
the RPG sort of level up thing.
Yeah, came into play there.
Yeah, I remember they kept trying to bring Gauntlet back, but it was never good or something.
Yeah.
It always got bad, like lukewarm reviews, like I said, like mediocre kind of stuff. But it was fun. It was fun. I had a blast with that. I remember, did you ever go to Palladium and places like that, like Chuck E. Cheese's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had Gauntlet there too, and everyone would play. That was a blast. I think that's just Toad's house.
You don't want to go to Toad's house?
Do you want to go to Toad's house? I don't know. I'm trying to think. What else? There are a lot of big co-op games. The one thing we could talk about is how co-op these days feels like a kind of dying breed, especially with online multiplayer coming in.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. I mean, I remember looking through like my PS3 games, like all of them, and realizing, wow, there's really not that much of it. Like I don't really have that many co-op games, if any. I have like the closest thing I have to even like couch multiplayer is like fighting games, which shocked me because all my PS2 games were pretty much co-op games or like head-to-head games. Like I played stuff like Downhill Domination, Tony Hawk, but now it seems like that's all disappearing.
Yeah, that's true.
In favor of Call of Duty online multiplayer. So it's kind of a downer.
But I mean, even like at least even Call of Duty has like the what's it called?
It does have it does have the split screen. That's true. That is true. But even then, like my friends whenever I go over there, I want to play online with it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of it's not as big a deal anymore.
So I guess there's also the announcement by Sony, the share button.
Yeah, I remember it was announced back in February. It was one of the coolest things about it, next to Gaikai, where it's the idea that when someone has the share button and they're playing the game online, another PlayStation 4 user can actually come and help them out.
Kind of like we need.
So like for example, like us sucking at Super Mario Brothers, we could have. Someone would literally take over the game, and I'm thinking that's the future of co-op. I mean, or like the future of of multiplayer in that way, is that everyone's so integrated together. But I also think it kind of takes away from the whole couch complex, where like you're side by side, right? They're not there; they're all the way somewhere else.
That's true. Yeah.
So in a way, it takes away from what a lot of people love about co-op, including myself. But also,
it adds quite a bit.
Yeah, it adds a lot of innovation. I remember a lot of people glossed over it too, which made me really sad. Yeah. So like that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. I think that blew my mind. Oh, you took it. You signed my death wish. But yeah, I remember, and then Xbox One really didn't touch on stuff like that. Also interesting is that Xbox One and Sony pretty much like flipped their strategy completely. Like, I mean, the PS3 was like the box that does everything, and Xbox was like a console for gamers, and now it's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
And they're okay with that. And also, I don't know, I like how Sony's focusing on the gamers, but at the same time, I did like the PS3 at the end kind of like shot back, had this whole redemption thing. A part of me may feel like, doesn't it kind of not make sense that with a resurging PS3, they're like, well, it's working for us right now, but we should just go and get just like completely switch back to being the hardcore gamer crowd. I don't know, what's your take on it, Alex?
I think in the end, it's all about the games. So I'm not too upset that they're trying to be, they're trying to gear themselves toward hardcore gamers.
Oh yeah, no, I have no problem with it. I was just a little surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, that's the reason I got the PS3 was for two games, like, outright. One was Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. The other was Flower, because I thought that this is innovation.
Right. I mean, for me, like, the only reason I'm ever gonna get a next generation console is because of the games that come out exclusively for the next gen consoles.
I know a lot of people that are really big on the online components, and like Xbox Live is a huge selling point in the 660. And there was like you said, I'm pretty sure Sony said something along the lines of when the PS3 launched, even if there's no games, people will buy it, and surprise, no one did.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, they were so cocky. Oh, and
that was
Stacey,
awesome.
redemption, but dead. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think what Sony's doing with the co-op play in the future is really good. Although I will admit, I'm very intrigued by Xbox One's like exclusives. Sort of coming out, they have like the 15 new IPs, and right now I just don't see Sony just doesn't have the IPs right now to back up my purchase of it, which is why. Make sure to get the checkpoint. Which is why I'm kind of holding out on next gen for a while. But I'm actually right now I'm leaning a little bit towards the Xbox One, which shocked me because I've been Sony. I had Sony PS2, PSP, PS3, like. Only Sony, love Sony.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xbox One's I think it's giving it a run for its money, for sure. Yeah, especially with games like Titanfall, that's a pretty big deal.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting to say the least.
Yeah.
Gosh darn, I think it's over for our lunch break. Should get back to work.
I agree.
Alrighty. Well, I'm Alex Coop.
I'm James Griffin.
And that was lunch breaks.
And we're the lunch breaks.
Did you say you're the lunch breakers?
Yeah.